Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Justine.
Boost is an established brand now, been in the marketplace for 10 years. How's it changed over that time?
Physically, obviously very dramatically from our bedroom, our lounge room, the blob that worked our way through the house and eventually took over and kicked us out of our own house, to now I guess a new office, 1,100 square metres, the whole thing. So actually feel like a big grown up company now, and it's been such a short period of time. I guess mentally, the growth in some of the executives that have been with us for such a long time, the growth in Janine, the person that she was 10 years ago was, sort of dealing with this whole retail thing with some trepidation to, I would position her as best, most well-known Australian businesswoman now, which is fantastic and great for her and great for our brands. So a lot of changes. Feel like we're all grown up now.
How hard is it to build an Australian brand that's not known overseas in international markets?
Big risk and big reward if you get it right. We're in 17 countries now. And places like Chile and South Africa and England and so forth are up to 10 or 12 stores. We're still waiting for that brand pop where you go from 12 to 20 to 50 to 100, where you've really made a big impression on the market. So I think most master franchises don't understand how difficult it's going to be. I mean, we're not Starbucks, we're not McDonald's. Eventually maybe we'd like to be one day, but establishing a brand, an Australian brand in China and England and South Africa and Chile and all those markets, you're basically starting from ground zero. So a lot of the tactics that we used in Australia, they have to work really hard to. So they need deep pockets, lots of patience, great marketers, and really have that passion as founders of the brand in their own country. And some do it a lot better than others, but extremely difficult, I would say.
Tell us a bit about Retail Zoo and what are your plans?
Okay, so Retail Zoo, what we decided really is, obviously we had Boost, and then in 2007 we decided, okay, we needed to go out and look for another brand, and we purchased a majority share in Salsa's Fresh Max Grill. We had Boost International underway from 2004, so we kind of had 3 revenue streams coming in. Initially, probably because I've got too much testosterone, we called it the Boost Investment Group, big. That was just an easy, probably male-orientated thing to do. But really, you can't just put everything under the Boost brand. And Boost means Boost Juice, which means a certain number of brand attributes. The Retail Zoo, what we're trying to do is we've got Salsa, we've got Boost, is probably become a major shareholder in 2 or 3 other brands in Australia within the next 2 or 3 years. So really, I guess Retail Zoo, the name, really says that we're prepared to, we're in retail, and hopefully one day we'll be a menagerie of brands that operate extremely successfully Australia and around the world. So whether it's obviously the most logical people to come in would be foodies, but to be honest, we're interested in anything. So if you have a brand and you'd like us to become a major shareholders, give us a call.
Are there anyone in particular that you're looking at the moment?
There's lots of really good brands in Australia. It does get down to a fair degree of we have a strict criteria, obviously, and one of those is profit. We've looked at a number of brands, and when Riverside recently acquired a majority share in our company, we got an influx of inquiries of brands. And surprisingly, even though on the surface a lot of them look quite successful, once you dig a few layers deep, quite challenging, and a number of obstacles that would prevent us from feeling good about being a shareholder in those brands. So we're very hopeful within the next 6 months we should make an acquisition, or at least become a new shareholder in another brand, and 2 to 3 within the next 2 or 3 years, and take our EBITDA from last year of 10 million to 20 million within 3 years is our goal.
How's Salsa's going, and what are your plans?
Okay, so Salsa's obviously, we got involved 2 years ago, and a 4-store company-owned chain founded by Lawrence. We've grown to 19 stores now, Obviously, fresh mix is a category that is on the growth. In Sydney, obviously, Guzman Gomez and Mad Mix doing a good job, and personally think they're doing good, and that's good for the overall category of building fresh mix in Australia, which is really, as we see, an underutilised category and a great opportunity. And in that space, I guess, coming from where we come from, with Boost, once upon a time there was up to about 42 different juice bar brands back in about 2003, and there was up to 3 juice bars in one shopping centre and so forth and so forth. But what they actually did is allow the category to grow, and that allowed Boost to grow as a market leader. Really, as a category leader, we've probably got the most resources, the best back engine to support growth. So whereas Mad Max and Guzman may grow slower than we can, we should be able to maintain market leadership. But we have utmost respect for them and think there's a place for all of us in the category. So yeah, our plans is growth and domination, and do Boost all over again. That's the plan.
Boost has been famous for its marketing. What do you consider great marketing to be?
It's probably my favourite question, because I think marketing is largely a term that's overused and underutilised in a lot of ways. I think the true marketers and the people that say it and the people that do it are very distinct categories. And I think it's almost in your DNA, if you really have an ultimately curious mind, to find out what the customer wants and just keep on giving it to them. And that may change on a weekly, daily, monthly, yearly basis, but to keep on finding out what the customer wants. And don't be if you come up with an offer, you're not selling any of them, take down the offer straight away and try something else. I'd rather have, I just come from a meeting with one of our state managers for New South Wales, and I said, look, try 10 things. If 5 don't work, that's okay. 3 may work okay, but you'll find 2 that go pop. And when you do find those 2, do it again, and obviously amplify the success of those 2. So marketing really is the curious mind and finding out what the customers want. But beyond that, it's not just focus groups. It's not a bunch of people that don't know the brand. It's really that brand founder or the owner of the brand, which in the mind is the business manager, or can be people that work for the company as well, really trying to get what the customer wants and giving it to them tenfold. And then you'll always succeed.
What do you think are the biggest challenges the QSR industry is facing?
It's an interesting one. I think a lot of challenges at the moment, because everything's going up and nothing's coming down. I think as I think most people would say, leases continue to be a challenge, and some of these leasing guys that get bonused on charging as much as they can, but you only have to walk through any shopping centres in Australia now and see the number of available shops or new offer coming and so forth, and that to me is sad, because someone's burnt a lot of money spending $300,000 or $400,000 investing in that shop, and could be their life savings, and then quite often they lose it. I think leasing is a problem. We're fairly strong on it. I think most of the bigger chains are, but constantly we're amazed at how much a smaller chain will pay for a site and inevitably go bust, because the economics just don't make any sense. I think obviously the labour rates are another really interesting one for us, and the confusion surrounding that. I think we've come through a really confusing 12 months and so forth, and we pride ourselves on being fairly diligent on following the letter of the law, but even we've struggled with trying to follow it, and it does change business. And there is that equation of you've got your cost of goods, you've got your leasing, you've got your labour, and somewhere there has to be some profit. If you get squeezed by the landlords, you're getting squeezed by the government, you're getting squeezed on all the fronts, then inevitably what happens is prices go up. And obviously in this environment, no one wants to pay more for their lunch or their smoothie and so forth, but it's the inevitable consequence of what's happening to the foodies and QSR. So I think it's tough to make a buck, and as I said, doing due diligence on a number of brands at the moment, we're surprised how hard it is for a lot of them to make a buck, even though on the surface they appear to be doing exceptionally well. So yeah, just hopefully we get well represented under the new Labor government.
Jeff Allis, thanks for your time today with QSR Media.